Yo, what's up guys, CNCB here, and today is going to be the rule video for my new TCG, my newest one, which is Crystal Dimensions. So if this is your first video that you're watching, then I had an original card game, and it was called Dual Creatures. It was a very fun game, but I just felt like I had really nothing left to do with it. And in the comments back in my last video about showing you guys what Crystal Dimensions, you guys all sounded like you loved the game. So, yeah, I guess I'll just keep doing this. And also, I think the Infinity Bro, I watch his videos. He's awesome. I love your cards, dude. And also, he commented, I hope you stick with this, and I will stick with this one. This will be like my main. I'm thinking that tomorrow I'll try. I'm not saying that I'm going to be showing all the water cards from set 1, but I'm going to try to get them out. I'm going to try to finish all the cards from set 1, but I don't think I'll get them all finished, if that makes sense. But then Friday, of course, will be the weekly update, which will probably be like me going to show you about like every single card. Probably make like a few cards from like you can only get like expansion kind of cards that I'll probably make today. I'll probably make like a few expansion exclusive cards. So yeah, I'll probably be like the same cards, but not same cards. Maybe same cards, but a little different artwork, just to make them look a little cooler, like exclusive kind. So yeah, but anyway, it's already almost 2 minutes into the video. I'm gonna start with the battle. So we're gonna be using my deck here, which is the grass deck. As I showed you, it was you know about the grass sling. I showed you that yesterday. So yeah, what you would start with in a battle is that you shuffle a deck from 36 to 50 cards. You have to have up to 50 cards in a deck only. And you can only consist of 4 copies of one card. So yeah. Starter decks come with every single card in the first set, plus like some abilities, but there's probably like multiple of the same cards, so it makes it look a little thicker like that. So this is only 36 cards, so 50 cards would be like a little taller. But yeah, anyway, that's 36 cards there. So as I probably told you in the first video, there are 3 types of cards. There are, first of all, we got attacker cards as the attacker right there. Probably like really worse if I put close up. Well, anyway, they have like a power that they use for when they attack. That's like the power that they have. So the power has to be over the number of a block. You have to have more power than the creature in front of you to attack that creature. Or it can be the same amount and nothing will happen. But if you have to have at least more or you have to have more or the same power to attack another creature. Because you can attack any creatures in different lanes, and there's 4 lanes, but it really limits on how many you want to play at a time. Because there's also, I'll just tell you, what you have to do in order to play the creatures too. So and also they have abilities, which is under what they are. This one's an attacker card. It has 4 crystals. You need 4 crystals to play this creature, and he's the tree crawler. And anyway, his ability says this unit can attack 2 times. But yeah, so when you played an attacker card, you put them in the front row, and they will set in like this kind of position, just like normal cards, how you play them down. And that's attacking. But when you declare an attack, you have to flip them to the left. And then that means they're dulled. And when they're dulled, that means they can't, any card can be sacrificed. It just means that they can't attack. And if they do, no, you can't sacrifice with a dulled creature. If they're like this, you could sacrifice. But if they're like this, then they can't do anything. So if they just attack you, then you'll have to put a card to the buff. But anyway, that's an attacker card. And then we have a defender card. And then it says defend right there. And it has an ability. When this unit dies, have the number of crystal points in its cost for your next turn to spend. So it's actually a pretty good creature or unit card. And he has 1,500 power. So, but this guy, since he's a defend, the only way that you can put a card in defend is when you first play them, you have to put them in and they have to start out doled. So you can't attack the first turn. So if you're the player that goes first, then you can't attack. But that means you can still get set up first, which is also really good. And the last cards are ability cards, which these just have abilities and no power. Search your deck for an attacker costing 4 or less. So yeah, that's really the basics of the game. So first of all, you would shuffle your deck. Those are like all the card types. And then I'll tell you how you can play the creatures right now. So you put your deck off to the side and you would draw 5 cards. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now here, this is what my hand was. I got 2 ability cards and then 3 unit cards. I actually might move the Crystal Dimension mat just so I can have better playing field. Okay, here we go. So here was this is what I got in my hand. So what I want to do is I want to be able to play this attack spawner because I don't really have that many good attackers besides the Grassling. And I need an attacker. But I can also place defenders if I want. So right now, in order to play your creatures, you have to discard them. And if you discard your creatures, you gain that many crystals. So I'm going to discard the grass wall. So you would put them in your discard pile. So I'll put them right over here under my deck. And I'll try to show this. See, there it goes under my deck. And I'll put this back. Okay, there you go. Yep, we're good. So I put that under my deck. And now I have 5 crystals to spend. So I can really pay for anything this deck. But right now I'm going to pay for an Oak Defender. So when you play him, of course, he has to enter Doled. So now he's officially played, and I only have 1 crystal left. But I'm going to discard this card, Defense Spawner. Because the only reason that you know that you're playing a card is if you say, I'll play it. But if you're discarding a card, that means you discard it. So I discarded the Defense Spawner. So then now I will play the Attack Spawner. So I can search my deck for an attacker level 4 or less. So if I do that, I can look in my deck. Quickly get a creature out. And I'll get the Crawler, and then I can put him in attack position. And then, of course, you have to shuffle your deck afterward. So now I only have this guy in my hand. But I used all 3 of my costing and also you draw 2 cards in your next turn. So yeah, so I only have him. And I'm just going to have to pass to my opponent because I can't really do anything else. I'm actually going to turn this sideways like that and put the cards really close so I can put that's an Oak Defender and that's a tree color. Okay, so now this will be my opponent's deck. First I'm going to shuffle my opponent's deck, and then I'm going to draw his 5 cards. So, and when it is your first turn, you don't draw 2. You just start with the 5. You don't have a draw phase. So, there we go. This is my opponent's hand. You got an attack spawner and a defense spawner, and you got an ability card. And you also got a Cloud Seeker. So, what my opponent is wanting to do now is that he wants to discard the Cloud Seeker, and he's going to discard the Defense Spawner. And that means now I have 6 crystals to spend with this. So I'll spend 3 to do my attack spawner. So I would look in my deck, and I'll quickly find a creature attacker level 4 or less. I will get out the Thunder Warrior. So there we go. Now I took out my card. And since these 2 I discarded, I'll put them under my deck. And I played this card so it goes back into my deck. And also, I have these cards left. And also, my attacker goes into the attack position. Not doled because he's not a defender. So yeah, and now there's really nothing else that I can do with this card. So I'm basically just going to have to attack, which means you have to dull the creature. And when also his ability is when Thunder Warrior is cosplayed, stun target unit. So when they're stunned, they get stunned for a turn, so you flip them backwards. So that means he's stunned, and then I'll attack. And I can't defend with my Oak Defender because he's dulled when he comes into play. So all I'm gonna have to do, I can either you can either sacrifice this Tree Crawler, or I could just take to a buff. And buff basically is if you get 6 cards in your buff, well, 6 cards in your buff, then that means you lose the game. So when you take a buff, you just basically take the top card of your deck. So this is the top card of my deck, and you just put it like right next to your deck, and then you can count how many buff you have. Like, so right now I only have 1 buff. But yeah, now. So now I draw 2 cards for my turn. So I go 1, 2. I'm going to discard these 2 creatures so I can play my Grass Dweller and attack. So now he's in attack mode. When it's his turn, he will be unstunned and he'll be able to do whatever. And also, when it comes to your next turn, your defenders become undulled. So basically, it's draw step, undull every creature that you have. So if he's dulled, then you would just put him straight back up. But since he's stunned, you can't do anything about it. But I could undull my Oak Defender, and he just enters undulled. So yeah, now I'm going, since there's really nothing I can do because I don't have a hand anymore. So I'm basically just going to attack my opponent. I'm just going to dull him, put him to the left, and now I will attack, and he doesn't have any defenders on his side, so my opponent will also have to take a buff. So his buff is the Zapling. So yeah, now you basically get on how to play this game. It's not that hard to understand, but also I base most of this off of if I don't really think a lot of you guys know what this card game is. It's called a card game called Final Fantasy. Probably heard of the games, but there's a card game for it, and it's called the Final Fantasy card game. And you do a lot of the same rules because I kind of wanted to make like a kind of a card game type like that, but the creatures, of course, are more cartoony and funny. But yeah. So once you get to 6 buff cards, so here I'll just put it for example. So if you get attacked more than, so that's my first buff, second buff, third buff, fourth buff, fifth buff, and then my 6th buff. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And once you got all 6 buffs, then you lose the game. Because that means you've taken 6 hits. And 6 hits is the max that you can take from, yeah. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed on how you could play this. Saturday, we're probably going to do a battle video because we have both of our decks fully constructed. This will be my brother's deck, so you'll see his electric deck come into play. And then you'll see my Great Tree deck, my grass deck come into play. And yes, tomorrow I'll try to get some other cards done. I'll probably show like some of the exclusive cards you can get. They'll probably be like different creatures, but I might remake some arts for some creatures. So yeah, just hope for that. And they'll be like, I'll probably do a pack opening next Monday, because today's already Wednesday, which is kind of bonkers because it felt like Monday yesterday. So this video's already at 14 minutes, so I'm just going to cut it off, guys. Thank you guys for watching so much. Subscribe. Hope you liked it. Leave a like. And bye.